Ave Dominus Nox, we have come for you. The fear-inducing cry of the Night Lords, or 5 words that you don't want to hear from the 2 policemen stood at your front door. Either way, it's brown trouser time as we delve into the darkness's cold embrace and take a look at 5 ways to convert your Chaos Space Marines into Night Lords. Number 1. Armor. So let's begin with the armor, and with this step I'm really going to lean heavily into that vampire cosplay aspect of the Night Lords and give them some armor that's straight out of Vlad von Carstein's Winter Collection. I'm going to be using some of the segmented armor from the Ozark Bone Reapers kit here to create my armor, and what you use here is up to you. The various shields found across the kits make for good options, but I'm personally using the torso components found in the Necropolis Stalkers, flipping it upside down and using some clippers to remove a couple of the now bottom panels. I'm using clippers here for the most of the cutting, and I'm being careful as I can to avoid damage on either side, but you may need to cut slightly away from where you want the actual edge to be. This gives you a little more wiggle room when you come to clean things up later with a file or a knife, and also reduces the chances of ruining the components. Once you have your chest plate cleaned up, we need a Chaos Space Marine torso to attach it to. However, at the moment, there is far too much going on currently, and we won't get a good fit if we try to glue the panel to it now. So bring out your trusty knife and file and begin shaving down that chest like you're an Olympic swimmer. Keep making adjustments and trying out the fit periodically to ensure you're not cutting away too much. Once you are happy with how much you've removed, you can bring in the glue and fix everything into place, leaving you with a slightly gothic looking breastplate that mimics the banding effect seen on the Conrad Kurz's armor from Forge World. Now, I should point out that this particular step is probably a little too involved for most of your rank and file miniatures, but would work well for making your unit champions or HQ leaders stand out a little bit more. Number 2. Weapon. For this next step, we'll be taking inspiration from one of Tim Burton's more iconic creations, a film featuring a well-known character who wears all black and who hails from dark origins. That's right, Edward Scissorhands. Perfect for flaying skin, eviscerating enemies, and styling hair. No self-respecting Night Lord would ever leave home without a knife-fingered lightning claw that would make Freddy Krueger proud. Luckily for us, these can be found in plentiful quantities in the Warp Talon / Raptor combo kit. Simply grab one of these bladed appendages and add them to your Night Lords for a nice and simple step. Number 3. Trophies. The mutilated body parts of people often adorn the armour of the Night Lords. Why they do this is up for a debate. Maybe it's to strike fear into the hearts of their enemies, or maybe they're just really into taxidermy, which kind of the same thing when you come to think about it. Either way, a good source for loading up your Night Lords with some dead animal bits are the Crypt Ghouls and their larger cousins, the Crypt Horrors. Both of these sets come laden with bones and corpse components like this jolly little fellow here. To mount this onto our Marine, we want to start off by clipping away the part of the arm being gripped by the ghoul and smooth out what's left of that elbow joint. We then want to glue this to the power plant of the Chaos Marine, but you may find that a little cutting and smoothing out is required to get a good join. Now, as weird and wonderful as the warp is, trying to explain away this corpse's adhesion to our Chaos Space Marine as just being Chaos glue might not be quite adequate enough to maintain that suspension of disbelief. So to remedy this, you will want to grab yourself some fine chain like this one here. This particular brass chain features 1mm by 1.5mm links and can usually be found on eBay or sites like Zinj Industries. It will begin by supergluing the end of the chain into place just above the vents on one side of the pack. Allow this to dry fully before pulling the chain around the corpse and around the power pack in a way that looks right for holding something like this in place. Once you are happy with the wrapping, you can clip the chain to length and superglue the other end in place. You can also take this opportunity to glue some of the other contact points around the chain to ensure that it remains taut. Now, whilst I've used a torso here, you can use same methods to fix skulls, bones, heads, hands, and pretty much any other body part that you want to your Night Lords. Number 4. Heads. The winged helmet of the Night Lords not only contributes to their fearsome gothic appearance, but also allows them to get into comic book conventions through the cosplayer's entrance. These are most easily produced by reaching for another undead kit, the Black Knights. Their winged helmets, along with the Graveguard, can be trimmed down to extract the Batwing motifs from them. Make sure that you do this slowly and carefully, so as not to damage the wings themselves. Again, keep on making those small adjustments and testing out the fit until you're happy with how they're fitting to the size of your Space Marine's helmet. If you're not a fan of these winged helmets, you could also make good use of the Skullface Reaver helmets as well. Number 5. Cape. So our Night Lord is pretty much there now. He has arms, legs and a head, but there's one key item he is lacking. Something that will freeze cold the veins of those he ascends upon. A cape. Without such a key piece of attire, how could he ever hold it across his face whilst crying, 1, dead guardsman, ah ah ah, 2, dead guardsman, ah ah ah. For such an auspicious item of clothing, we're yet again going to be dipping one more final time into an undead kit. You've probably noticed the pattern here. The chain gas are fairly cheap to pick up, especially if you're collecting the new Mortal Realms magazine, and come ready made with perfect tattered capes. All you need to do is to trim away any arms, heads or chains from your gas and choose a location to fix your cape to. Then keep on making cuts until your cape fits into place. A good location for these is across the back and hung just beneath one of the pauldrons. So once again, we come to the end of another 5 ways to convert video, and with the information provided in this video, you should be ready to go ahead and spread fear and proper cape usage throughout the galaxy. As with all of these 5 ways to convert videos, don't feel that you need to use every single step on every single model. Spread them out across your force to give them a little flavour. Also, be sure to check out bit suppliers like Bitsbox, who provided some of the extra components used in this video. Buying just the bits you need rather than the full kits, it will really help save you money in your conversions, and you'll find a link to their site in the description below. However, if it's full kits that you're looking for, then check out Firestorm Games using my affiliates link in the description below. I do a lot of work with those guys over on their channel, and you can pick up pretty much any wargaming related products on their site for a discounted price. Plus, if you follow that link below, then a little bit of money comes my way too, which I can put directly into producing these videos. Now, if you enjoyed this foray into the darker side of Space Marines conversions, then let me know in the comments below and leave me suggestions for other legions you'd like to see me tackle next. But before I go, let me just say a huge thank you to you guys who support me on Patreon. Your continued patronage really helps me with the cost of producing these videos, all the kits and the extra items that I need. And if you'd like to lend a hand, I've included my Patreon page in the description below, and you can donate to me from as little as $1 a month. And for anyone looking to chat about all things wargaming with others who enjoy my channel, I've set up a Discord server, which you can find a link in the description to as well. So the only thing left to say is, thanks for watching, and goodbye.